Okay, 12.3. Completing the square. Completing the square. All right. Some quadratic equations such as a squared plus 6a plus 2 equals 0 cannot be solved by factoring. And what I mean by that, you can't do, you know how we divide it into two things? You can't do that. I'll let y'all catch up. Okay, so you know how we break it up and everything? There are some equations that cannot be done, cannot be solved by factoring. Some quadratic equations. So, you have this formula. X squared plus bx plus b divided by 2 squared. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Basically, they have this right here to help out. So write that down. And truly, you have to know this, but it's probably you're going to learn the steps more than needing to memorize this, okay? You're probably going to know the steps better by the time I'm done. You're probably going to vaguely even remember this formula, okay? You just need to know when to use it. All right, so if you cannot factor an equation, this is what you do. Quadratic equation. So steps to make perfect, and here y'all should like this, perfect square quadratic equations. You know, when you're using perfect square, life is good, right? Okay. Real quickly, do y'all notice this? You understand this. X squared plus b. Y'all get that part because y'all have dealt with stuff like that. It's this right here that's kind of weird, right? Okay, well, notice that the b is now on top and it's being divided by 2 and then squared. All right, so that's where that b came from, is this right here. And let me show you. It'd be like this right here would be b. The 6 would be the b. Okay? But we're going to do a lot of examples like yesterday, and that seemed to help. So even if you don't like all the examples in time, trust me on this. Step 1, you're going to write the equation in the form ax squared plus bx equals c. Okay? Remember This is, remember from yesterday, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Okay, remember that? Whoops. Remember this from yesterday. We had it equal to 0. Do y'all remember that?
Yes.
This is a continuation from yesterday. We had this yesterday and then we broke it up and started playing around with it, right? What they're saying is, what if it can't be broken up? What if it's just like, well, gosh, there's nothing we can do? Well, we're going to get it to where it does work. The first step is to move that C. See the C? Get it? See the C? Anyway, my jokes are better than Mr. B's. Okay, the C we need to move to the other side of the equal sign, and that's what we do here.
Then why isn't it negative C?
Well, because what if it's negative here? It's going to be positive over here. What they're saying is just move C over here. It could be negative or positive. Don't think too much into it. They're just saying C is going to need to be on this side. Okay? All right.
I have a question.
Okay.
In the formula, would it like equal C?
In the
Like,
formula.
you would have an equal sign, right? Or would it always just be 0?
Not always. Not always.
Okay, so like, you don't do anything on the other side of the equal sign in that formula.
Don't do anything on the other side in the formula. I don't understand.
Because you know the formula that we just like wrote and starred,
This? Yes.
Yes. There's no like equal.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's why I said don't worry about this that much right now. Don't worry about that right now. Okay? Here, watch these steps. So here's your equation. You may or may not have a C. It may or may not be on this side or this side of the equal sign. But we're doing regular quadratic equations. But the first step is to make sure your C, that third thing right there, the lone number without a variable, we need to move it to the other side of the equal sign. Okay? So, step 2. Complete the square by adding, here's where it gets crazy, b divided by 2 squared to both sides of the equation. Make sure you have all this written down. Trust me. Y'all have those written down? Okay, I'm watching. Make sure you put your pencils down or pens down so I know that you're done. All right. This B right here is going to come from that number right there. That B, this B right here is going to come from that number right there. All right, step 3, you're going to factor the trinomial. After you're done, 4, just like yesterday, apply the square root property, just like we did yesterday. And that should have all been in caps, but oh well. And then 5, solve. So this is just like what we did yesterday, but we gotta do a little thing beforehand.
Is the factoring like
The long stuff. Be more
Like the factor and the polynomial.
with all those factor things? No.
Okay.
No. No. That's the thing. This isn't that bad. This stuff it's time consuming, but it's really not that bad. But you have to know yesterday's work to be able to do today's work. Does that make sense? All right, so now we're going to jump into our book. Examples, page 497. So open your books to page 497. And it's downstairs. Just use a pen right now. And then I'll send you to go get the sharpener when we're done. I gave you tons of pencils. You're telling me you don't have one pencil that's
You
sharpened?
didn't give me any pencils because I broke one.
Well, then you should have more than one pencil. Okay. Number 1. It says, what number must be added to complete each square? Okay, this is the easy part. So it's x squared plus 8x plus blank. That's what we're missing because remember this right here. Okay? Remember this? This is supposed to be our equation, right? Our quadratic equation from yesterday. So what is missing right here? We have ax squared plus bx plus c. So we're wondering, what they're asking is, what is missing? The c is missing. How do we find c? Well, allow me to show you.
B divided by 2.
He's correct. B divided by 2 squared. So let's see. Valeria, what is B? 8. She's correct. B is 8. So I have 8 divided by 2 squared. What is 8 divided by 2, Valeria? Very good. What is 4 squared, Valeria? And there's your answer. That is all they're looking for this section.
Like, it can't be that easy.
Right. Just wait. They're setting you up stage by
And
stage.
then you
Like
get
the sample
fraction. And
questions
then you get
on the iPad.
Exactly, like the
Those were
sample questions.
ridiculous.
What was it? 9 plus 4.
Yeah, I was like,
7 plus 2.
yeah. No, it was 9 minus 4 and 7 plus 2.
I'm glad you memorized that. Too bad you can't memorize all this stuff that easy. That's because it's not that easy. Okay. Are there any questions about this so far? Okay, so what we're doing is we're completing the square. And what that means, you may ask yourself, what the heck? I know what we're doing here. I get what she's doing, but what does it mean completing the square? Allow me to show you. All eyes up here. If this is C, watch this. Watch it. This will help with completing the square. If I were to go back and say x squared plus 8x plus the missing number 16. And if I wanted to factor that out, perfect square, that would be that x plus 4 times x plus 4, which in turn is x plus 4 squared. That's completing the square. It's making it to where you can have that perfect square. You're solving it.
So then
Factor.
how come you don't solve it to make it like a simple question?
We're going to be doing that later. This is like a step process, trying to get y'all to understand what is missing, how you go about getting it, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? But the red part is what they mean by completing the square. All right. Next problem. And we're going to do these until y'all can do them in your sleep. So you will write down every example, even if you're like, I get it. Too bad you're writing it because I say so. 3, x squared plus 16x plus something's missing. Keep in mind, this is your ax squared plus bx plus c. So the c is missing. Miranda, how do I find c? The b thing. Can you tell me what the b thing is? B over 2 squared. What is b, Miranda? What is 16 divided by 2, Miranda? What is 8 squared, Miranda? And there's your answer. Perfect square. We understand?
Can we just do this?
No. Do we understand?
Yep.
All right. Again, if you're like, okay, how do I know if I did this right? All you need to do is go ahead and plug it in to check and then factor it out because it should be a perfect square. And that would give you x plus 8 times x plus 8, which is x plus 8 squared. Perfect square. There you go. Any questions? Okay, let's do another. Ariel, would you like to do this one?
Sure.
Oh, good answer. Because I would have made you anyway. All right. So again, remember what is what? This is your ax squared, bx, and c. So Ariel, please tell me how to find c. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you did that when driving?
That would be terrible.
It would not be pretty.
That's not very good. I would.
Wow.
Should probably take several of us out. Okay.
Everyone on the road would be demolished.
Yeah.
Anyways,
All right.
So you divide -2 by 2.
Because that's your
Yeah.
B. Very good. All right, so -2. She's correct. That's my B.
And it goes in -1 times. And -1 squared is just -1. Wait, no, it's 1. Regular 1.
Regular 1. Again, you can go back and check. For the sake of time, I won't because you kind of understand. Oh, yes, I will. I can't stand it. It's like I don't know, I got some Sheldon issues in me. Okay. Only some of y'all will understand that joke. Okay. So, it's like an undone thing. I can't take it. Okay. So, if we want to check, see if that's a perfect square, that would be x minus 1 times x minus 1, which would be x minus 1 squared. No. What do you mean?
If you square it, it's 2 negatives.
Yeah, and then
No, I'm like, hold on.
X times x is x squared.
Can't see.
Then I have negative x and negative x because of
Oh, I
these.
see. I thought you had a positive there. Okay.
And then, no, hey, I'm glad y'all keep me in check because I'm like, okay, where did I mess up? I'm all for y'all keeping me in line. Seriously. I don't know what I'd do if y'all didn't. Okay. There you go. Hey, we're all in this together. All right, so I'm going to let go of the checking things and move on. 7, but we are still doing lots of examples. Franz, would you like to do this one? Okay. What am I using to find the missing C and to complete the
3.
square? No, I'm not using 3. What's my formula?
B divided by 2 squared.
Okay.
No, it's 3.
Oh, no. That doesn't go into it equally.
No,
No, it's not no solution.
Just no.
No, it's not just no. So this is squared, right? So what is 3 over 2 times 3 over 2?
9 over 4.
There is your answer. Remember, we're doing perfect squares. So 3 times 3 is 9, and 2 times 2 is 4. What? Any questions about that? Sophia, you can hide, but I'll still find you, hiding underneath your hands. Okay, tell me how to solve this one. See, if I didn't do this one, y'all get to this and say, wait a minute, it doesn't go into it evenly like these others. Miss Rogers, what do I do? Well, there you go. Now you know. So, Sophia, what do I use? What's my B? Oh, no. It does not go into it evenly. What shall I do? Multiply it by what? That's all right. Negative 11 over 2 times negative 11 over 2. Sophia, what's negative 11 times negative 11? And what's 2 times 2? There you go. We are completing the square. Any questions? Okay, so there's some examples. Oh, here's another good one.
15.
Are y'all ready?
15.
Y'all have this down. Let's see.
7.
Chap. Number 11. X squared plus, oh no, 3 over 2x, a fraction. And we're looking for C. What shall I do?
So your formula
Yes.
is b over 2 squared.
Very good.
Okay, so then you would have 3 over 2 divided by 2
Squared.
squared.
Oh no, that's ugly.
When you do that, you can just write it out like actual fraction division problem. 3 over 2 divided by 2 over 1. And then you can flip it and multiply it. And then that gives you 3 over 2 times 1 over 2.
Okay, pause. I want everyone to write this down and see what he's doing before we move on. I want you to look. The B is a fraction. But we're still dividing that fraction by 2. Ariel, do you see that? Brandon, do you see that? Valeria, do you see that? Sophia in the back, do you see that? Okay. So what we're doing is, like he said, we're just don't, and you heard the calmness in his voice. It was like, don't be alarmed. You just solve it like you would a regular fraction being divided by a whole number. Here's the fraction, 3 over 2 divided by 2, 2 over 1. Then he applied the fraction division rules. Keep, change, flip. I got to remember that. So he flipped it. And then now we continue. Go ahead, chap.
Okay, so that would get you 3 over 4 squared. And then that would get you 9 over 16.
Now, if you have questions, very good, chap. If you have questions, ask now. Sophia, do you have questions? Anyone? Franz, do you have a question? Okay. Very good. Morgan, would you like to do 15?
I don't think I have a choice.
No, you don't. Okay. 15. I may do this one first.
Maybe 17.
Shh. If I do this one, then Morgan's going to do the next one, but I'll let you do the next one. All right. I don't know if New may want to. She hadn't had a turn. Okay. Let me do this one, and then I'll probably let Morgan and New do the next two. Yeah. And then Franz. Did I even do 17? No, I don't think I did 17. Yes, I did. Okay, so Morgan will do 17. New will do 19. Oh, yeah. And then Franz, I'll let you do 21. Okay, but you're concentrating on 15 first so that you'll know how to do 21. Don't brush me aside. That's very rude, Franz. He does that. Even during the Iowa, I'll come over there and look, and he won't even look up. He'll do this. He just, go away. Okay. 15, I'm going to show you how it works. Now, notice, a squared plus 2a equals 15. All right, so we're kind of like we're going back to up here. Now, remember, we have to have this, right? That's our equation. Miranda, up here, look here, wake up. See this right here? And then to get started, we need to move the c over. And then we can complete the square by doing this. Okay. So, here we go. This is already in that ax squared plus bx equals c format. Do y'all see that? It's good to go. See right here? This is how we begin. If the c was on this side, we'd have to move it over. All right.
I have a question.
Oh no. And this is step 1.
I have a question.
What?
Why did we write the other one then? Like, remember the ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, but, like, we don't need that one.
You may. What if this 15 was over here equals 0?
So you need to move it over.
In fact,
Right.
look at 19.
Yeah, then you need to move it over.
Look at 19. Do you see how it's written?
I do, but you have to move it over, right?
Bingo.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Oh, now look, I messed up. Okay, here's my papers. So, okay, calm down. Look at number 19. Look at number 19. Do you see that it's in this format right here? Do y'all see number 19 is looking like this? To be able to solve it, we got to put it like this. Step 1, write the equation in this form.
Okay.
Does that make sense now? Now for 15, it's already in that form. Y'all understand now? Okay, good. Good question. All right. Oh, I'm lost. Okay, here it is. All right, so step 2, if you notice, step 2, complete the square by adding b over 2 squared to both sides of the equation. So step 2, and notice I'm writing in all my problems from here on out, you're going to see me write these 1s and 2s and stuff to indicate what step you're on. So it says add this is what we just got through doing, to both sides. So what is my b? It's 2, correct? So 2 over 2 squared. I get 1 squared equals 1. So that's my b. And step 2 says, add this to both sides of the equation. So I'm going to add it. Look, here's my equation. A squared plus 2a plus 1 equals 15 plus 1. So just a reminder, Step 2 says complete the square by adding this to both sides of the equation. We solved that and we got 1, and I'm adding it to both sides of the equation. Here's my original equation. I rewrote it and added 1 on both sides. Do we all see that? Take a mental picture of that. Y'all caught up? What is 15 plus 6?
16.
15 plus 1.
21.
15 plus 1.
16.
Thank you. Okay, there we go. We completed step 2. That was just step 2. Now, step 3. Factor the trinomial. Keep in mind, what are we talking about? Perfect squares. So, like Chap said, is this that long stuff? No, we're dealing with perfect squares. So the next part is factor the trinomial. This is your trinomial right here. We're factoring that part. Make sure, if I'm putting an underline here, you should be too. So in this spot, we're doing, notice I brought down my equals 16. This is just like what we've been doing when I said check it. This is perfect squared kind of thing. So what would be in here, new? There you go. Equals 16. Basically what this is a plus 1 squared equals 16. Are y'all with me? Do you see why you need to take a lot of notes? Any questions before we move on? Any questions before we move on? Step 4, apply the square root property. This is what we did yesterday. So step 4, I've got to get this out of there. What did we do yesterday to remove that?
You put them each as a radicand.
There you go. Put them each as a radicand. Because y'all can do it. I know. That's right. Okay. So then this becomes what, Ariel?
It becomes a plus 1
Perfect.
equals 4.
Equals, remember yesterday, plus and minus. There you go. Positive and negative 4. Guys, I totally, if you can get through here, I get it. You would get a wrong answer eventually if you forget this. But at this point in the game, this is very new stuff that y'all have never had to do before. So it makes sense that y'all just want to put a 4 there. And I get it. And the reason that we have to put positive negative, because negative 4 times negative 4 does give us a positive 16. Just like positive 4 times positive 4 gives us 16. So these problems we need to really slow and steady. Now, just like yesterday, we got to move this over. So we're going to subtract 1 on both sides. Now, step 5 is a equals negative 1 plus or minus 4. And that's when we figure it out. Remember this?
A equals
Negative 1.
Negative 1 minus.
A equals negative 1 minus 4. So then A equals 3 right there. And then A equals negative 5 right there. So your answer is A equals 3 and negative 5. This is your answer. Now, they say, yeah. See, here, let me tell you something. 15, that says just solve by completing the square. 19 through 22 says instate the solution set. I have yet to figure out, and I would love to talk to Dr. Gatt, but she's not here. For this is the answer they expect for like 15 and everything. But when they say solution set, you know what they expect? The squigglies. Now, I spent all night last night again looking to find out why sometimes there's no squigglies and why sometimes there are. What's the difference? Solution set, the word solution set is the difference, okay? If it says find the solution set, you should always have the squigglies. If they don't, then you don't have to. In my opinion, I can't find, and I've looked, and I might do some more research, and that's me failing as a math teacher. Why does it matter? Like, would it be wrong if you put this? Would it be wrong if you did this? Same problem. One asked for it to be a solution set. It's the same thing. Technically, I don't think you'd get it wrong. I'm going to find out why. But do we understand how to solve in the meantime? If you were to give me this, I'm not marking it wrong. If when it says give me the solution set, you give me this, I'm not marking it wrong. If you know how to solve this thing, you are good to go. I don't care what teacher you have. Any questions about this? You see why I have the steps written out? Mm-hmm. All right, let's do another one. Morgan, you want to do 17?
Sure.
All right, here we go. 17. Step 1, your problem. X squared plus 4x equals 5. Is this in the right form to solve it?
Yes.
Yep, the correct form is this. Remember, if I write it, you are writing it. Even if it's in red, doesn't mean it doesn't matter. Okay, Morgan taught me through it. Step 1, remember, is putting it in this form. It's already in the form, so we can move on to step 2.
First, add the b over 2 squared to both sides.
And how would I find what b over 2 squared is?
b is 4.
Okay, b is 4.
And it's 2 squared, and that's 4. So you'd end up with x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals 5 plus 4.
Okay, slow down.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I just want to write this down for everyone and let them catch up. So we're taking that 4 and we're adding it to both sides of the equation. Does everyone understand that step? Valeria, do you understand? Okay. I don't want y'all to be embarrassed and not say something. It's the end of the year. If you happen to zone out, I completely understand. But make sure that you don't all of a sudden miss something and then you're completely lost. All right, continue.
Then you'd add 5 and 4 and then equal x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals 9.
Okay.
And then you factor the trinomial.
Okay, so step 3, we're going to factor the trinomial. This is your trinomial. See, 3. 1, 2, 3, try. All right. And what do you get?
X plus 2 times x plus 2 equals 9. Or x plus 2 squared.
No, I like how you did that. We need to do it step by step. Okay, let everyone catch up. Okay, any questions so far? Make sure you're writing each step. Okay, continue now.
And then you would get x plus 2 equals 3 because you square both sides.
Okay, so step 4, we're going to make both the radicand, because we're going to kind of square root both sides, and what do you get?
X plus 2 equals positive and negative 3.
Positive and negative 3. Good job. I want to make sure I highlight that.
And then you subtract 2 from that side by both positive and negative 3.
So step 5, we get x equals negative 2 plus or minus 3. Now talk me through this.
It'd be 3 minus 2 and then negative 3 minus 2.
Or x equals negative 2,
Minus 3
okay, minus 3. And then right here would be x equals negative 2
plus 3.
plus 3. However you want to do it.
And that give you negative 5 and 1.
And this gives me 1. So then my answer is x.
Equals negative 5, 1. And you don't do the squigglies because this didn't say to do the solution set.
They did not say, they didn't ask for the solution set. So,
And
yeah.
it doesn't matter what, like, order you put your numbers in. Like, it
No.
doesn't matter if you put
Good question. She said, does it matter if, like, what order you put this in? Not at all. In my old notes, I told all my students to always write it as a solution set so they never go wrong. But in reality, that could be wrong. So, just pointing it out. All right. Any questions? We have 2 more to do, and then I'm setting you free. I want to make sure everyone understands. Sophia, you done writing this down? All right. New. 19. Okay. It's x squared minus 10x minus 24 equals 0. That's right. We need to put it in this form. So we're going to add, as she said, 24 to both sides. X squared minus 10x equals 24. Good job. So that's step 1. We're going to add it to both sides. So what's my b? Over 2 squared. And what's negative 10 divided by 2? And negative 5 squared is? Very good. And she said we're going to add that to both sides. So I'm rewriting my equation. And I'm adding 25 to both sides. And I'm going to pause there, let y'all catch up. It would be best if you even drew my arrows so that if you have a brain fart later on, this would jog your memory. New, what is 24 plus 25? All right. What is my next step? Factor out trinomial. There's my trinomial. I've underlined my trinomial. So what do you get?
X minus 5 squared.
Well, I'm going to write it all out for note's sake. So we get x minus 5 times x minus 5 equals 49, which is what she just said, x minus 5 squared, because it is a perfect square. That's why these are, this is the good thing. They make you do all these steps. At least we're dealing with perfect squares. Okay, step 4. What do I do, New? That's right. We're going to square root both sides. And what do you get?
X minus 5 equals 7.
Equals what?
I'll do it.
Perfect. Now what do I do?
X
What do we do with this negative 5?
7.
we're going to move it over. So we're adding 5 to both sides, right? So then step 5, we have x equals 5 plus or minus 7. And we solve that. What do I write here? 5 plus 7. And then this will be, there we go. So then x equals what? And then here we have x equals, and then this one they did ask for a solution set. So squiggly, what's my answer? There you go. Any questions? Yes.
Will they ever give us one that, like, the one on the right side, our right side of the equal sign is not a perfect square?
No, we're doing perfect squares. Any questions? Ariel, do you have it? Are you sure?
Just finished.
Okay.
In my turn.
Yep. Franz is going to do 21, then I'm setting you free.
Okay.
All right, so step 1, it's x squared. Notice that the ones that they didn't ask for a solution set were not equal to 0. And these, when they ask for a solution set, are equal to 0, so that must be the reasoning. Still, I'd like more explanation. So Franz, what do I do?
What do you do? Well, first move. Yeah, first move the 99 to the other side.
Very good. So I'm going to add it to both sides. And I've got x squared minus 2x
equals positive 99.
Very good. Now second step.
Do the b divided by 2 on both sides.
What's my b?
Negative 2. And negative 2 divided by 2 equals negative 1. And squared will be positive 1.
Very good. So then I have x squared minus 2x
Plus 1.
plus 1.
Equals 100.
99 plus
Plus
1.
1.
We want to go step by step.
100 equals 1.
Very good.
Okay.
Step 3, we're factoring out trinomial.
For perfect square, x, x, and then minus 1.
Perfect. And then x minus 1. And what does that really become?
X minus 1 parentheses squared,
Perfect.
and that'll equal to 100. And then
What do I do for step
rat-
4? What?
radical sign,
That's right. Put it all under the radical sign.
and then you will have for the left side you'll have x minus 1 equals 10. For
What?
And for the right side is 10.
What?
Oh, positive and negative 10.
Positive and negative 10. Very good. Yeah, it'll get me too, trust me.
And then you move the 1 to the other side on the plus 1. X equals plus 1 and positive and negative 10.
All right. I'm going to draw my little arrows. And I have x equals 1
Plus 10.
plus 10, and then x equals 1.
Minus 10.
All right, and what does this become?
So it'll be 11 and then 9. Negative 9.
And it did ask for a solution set.
So totally,
Uh-huh.
and then so it'll be x equal,
You don't even have to put an x.
oh, well, 10,
No. What's my answers?
yeah, oh, 11
There you go.
minus negative 9.
Comma, negative 9. Any questions? Not too shabby, right? Okay, page 497.
2 through 22 even.
I'm gonna be really nice to y'all.
2 through 18 even.
Everyone is only doing numbers 2 through 22 even.
Exactly what I said.
Oh, I said it. I thought it.
I said it.
I said it. It's due Thursday. I think you can handle that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
11
6,
questions.
7, whatever. All right. I'll let you know when there's a quiz. Any questions?